Alright, today we're going to be adjusting valves on a 1987 Suzuki Quadrunner 250, and this is going to be the same for the newer Quadrunners as well, as long as it's a 250. The valve clearances for the intake is going to be 0.001 to 0.003, and the exhaust is going to be 0.003 to 0.005 inches. Now you're going to want to do that when the motor is completely cooled down. You never want to do it, never want to adjust valves when your four-wheeler has been warmed up at all. First thing you want to do is pull the valve check caps up top here. You've got your intake on this side and your exhaust on this side, and they're 17 millimeter caps. You can just use a socket or a wrench to remove those, and then we've got an inspection plug down here, and that's also a 17 millimeter cap. And you're going to be able to look down inside there, and what you see down there is a flywheel. You want to pull this recoil pole starter, and it's possible that you can do it with the recoil pole starter. The problem is finding your mark on the flywheel itself is extremely challenging using the rope. A lot of times you'll go past it, you have to go all the way around again. A lot of times it's just easier to pull these 6-8 millimeter bolts to pull that recoil pole starter off. We've got a 15 millimeter socket. Go down here on your recoil cup, and you're going to spin this motor clockwise until you find top dead center compression. You can spin it all the way around until you find the T, but you want to make sure you're on that compression stroke. Otherwise, your valves are not going to be in the loosest position where they need to be. Once the T is lined up with your line there, just below your cylinder on your crankcase is an arrow. You want that T that's on your flywheel lined up right in the center of that inspection hole there. You're going to want to grab feeler gauges. And we're going to go right in the center of our specs on this one, so we're going to go 0.002 inches. We're going to slide it in there. 0.002 is a very, very small clearance, and probably one of the smallest that you'll ever find on valves. But you loosen your, with a 10 millimeter lock nut here, and then with a screwdriver, you get to the position that you want to be in. I slide my feeler gauge in, and then kind of tighten it down on top of. You want to be able to slide that feeler gauge back and forth. And you don't want too much drag, but you do want to know that you're touching on both sides. The way that you can check is size up feeler gauge in there, and if you can't get it in, then you know you're probably in the right spot. If it's extremely loose, then you want to tighten it up. So once you get it to the spot you want to be, you can leave your feeler gauge in there, and then you can go ahead and tighten up with your 10 millimeter. You want to make sure that your adjuster screw doesn't move, otherwise you're going to be too tight down on top of that feeler gauge. And so tighten it up, and then I always check it again. You can again put the next size bigger, see if you can get that in. If you can, then you'll need to tighten it up a little bit more. Do the exact same thing on the exhaust. You can go to the 0.004 is right in the middle for the exhaust. Do the same thing, slide it in there, loosen your lock nut if you can't get it in, and adjust that flathead screw there. Once you get all put back together, I like to take and spin this motor over a couple times just to make sure you're in the right position. Put your caps on, put your inspection plug on, and your recoil, and you're all set.